Hey YouTube, it's RedRock 101 here with a new segment entitled Exploring the Dark World. So this segment is here to give you guys some tips and strategies on how to better your Dark World deck. And I feel like a good place to start is the side deck because I feel some Dark World players don't know how to side in what's being sided in against them. So I'm here to show you guys my side deck, and hopefully my choices will influence some of your side decks. And without further ado, let's begin. So to start off my side deck, I have 3 copies of Thunder King Ryo. So this card is extremely good this format because it stops all searching. So that means no Pot of Duality, no Sangan, no Agent Earth, no Stratos, no Reinforcement of the Army, no Snow, and just, cards like those. So it pretty much prevents your opponent from getting pieces they need to begin comboing. It has 1900 attack, which means it's pretty hard to get over attack-wise, so it makes it a good beater. It's level 4, which means you always have the option of exceeding with it into Steel Swarm Roach or Utopia. It's a light, which means it's an added target for Blackluster Soldier, and its effect, it can negate inherent special summons. So you can negate Cyber Dragon, Chaos Sorcerer, Blackluster Soldier, and all Synchro and Exceed summons. So this card is essentially a blockade for your opponent. If you slam this down turn 1 and protect it with back row like Warning, MST, and stuff like that, your opponent will have a pretty hard time getting over it because they can't search to get their pieces, they can't special summon around him because he can negate synchros and exceeds and etc. And so your opponent has a rough time dealing with this guy. So they have to use stuff like Smash and Ground or Mirror Force or D-Prison or easy 1-for-1 removal like that. So the Thunder King is just a real pain in your opponent's side. So that's why I like running him. And some people like to run 2, but I run 3 because I want to maximize my chances of drawing him turn 1 and just slamming him down and preventing your opponent from pretty much doing anything. So that's Thunder King. Next I have 2 Cyber Dragons. Cyber Dragon is really good because it's a free special summon. It's a light, so BLS target. It has 2100 attack, so it generally can get over most monsters. It's a machine, and its synergy with Chimeratech Fortress Dragon is really good because it can get rid of opposing gadgets, Karakuris, and the really annoying wind-up Zen Mines. So if your opponent has wind-up Zen Mines, you can just special it and then, get rid of it and just get a free 2000 beater. And this card is really good because it baits out Bottomless, D-Prison, and stuff that you generally don't want wasted on your Hyperion if you're playing Agents or Grapha or stuff like that. So Cyber Dragon is a really good monster in that aspect. Next we have 1 Fossil Dyna. Fossil Dyna locks up a lot of the meta nowadays, and because in Dark World you don't special summon that much besides Grapha, Fossil Dyna is a really good fit. As you can tell, most of my side deck is going to be anti-meta, so Fossil Dyna fits into that theme. And it just stops pretty much a lot of the decks in this format, like Dino Rabbit, Plants, Agents, 6-Sam, stuff like that. And a good thing about Fossil Dyna is, you can just set it, and then if your opponent swarms with special summoned monsters, they attack, and then you flip it, and then you kill all their special summoned monsters. And when this card is face up, your opponent cannot use Gores or Tragodia or Battle Fader because they cannot special summon. So Fossil Dyna is incredible. Next we have 1 DD Crow. This card is used to deal with Treeborn Frog and Monarchs, Spore, Glow Bulb, and when Inzectors come out, you can use this to remove their Hornet. This card can also deal with opposing Dark Worlds, so you can remove their Grapha. So this card's always good. It helps remove BLS targets, and DD Crow has a lot of use. I might bump this up to 2 when Inzectors come out, so yeah. Next we have the spell portion of the side deck. 2 Smash and Ground. I run this because it's easy 1-for-1 monster removal, and it helps deal with big monsters I can't get over, like Archlord Christia, Master Hyperion, BLS, stuff like that. So yeah, and also if I get slammed down against a first turn Thunder King, if I open Smash and Ground, then that's an easy answer to my opponent's first turn Thunder King, so that's really good. So that's why I run 2. 1 MST to deal with back row stuff. If my opponent's back row heavy, then I just activate MST. It helps get rid of D-Fissures and Macrocosmos. Next we have 2 D-Prison. You'll see that when I side out a lot of my Dark World engine. So D-Prison fits into the anti-meta aspect of the side deck, so It's easy 1-for-1 removal. I thought, why not? Gets rid of Stardust and annoying monsters like those. So that's why I run 2. 2 Light Imprisoning Mirror for the Agent and Lightsworn matchup. Agents are pretty much Dark World's worst matchup, so Light Imprisoning helps deal with that. Hyperion can't activate its effect, no searching with Earth. Venus can't summon the Shine Balls, etc. So Light Imprisoning really helps. And last but not least, we have 1 Chain Disappearance to get rid of annoying monsters like Tour Guide, this little guy, Rescue Rabbit, Sangan, Dandelion, stuff like that. Just annoying cards like that. If you get rid of your opponent's Tour Guide or Rescue Rabbit, you pretty much won against those decks. So Chain Disappearance is always good. And that pretty much does it for my side deck. So what I side out in terms of winning game 1 is that I side out Dust Shield because you don't need it if you're going second. Dark Smog, which is pretty much useless, and then I would probably side in my 2-dimensional Prison, or depending if I'm playing Agents or Lightsworn, I would side in the 2 Light Imprisoning Mirrors. Because you already have so much back row hate, monster and monster hate, I mean. So Deprison just adds more hate to that. For the spells, I would side out pretty much the Dark World engine, just the drag downs and the Dark World dealings. So then it renders your opponent's Gem Mana Imps useless. So I would side in the 2 Smashing Grounds, and I would probably anticipate my opponent siding in D-Fissure and Macro, so I always side in a 3rd MST. I mean, you should always side in a 3rd MST, but Dark Worlds, they get kind of hurt when your opponent sides in D-Fissure and Macro. Then for the monsters, I would take out the Morphing Jar because it's discard outlet and Gem Mana Imps can get rid of it. Sangan because you don't really need to search for anything. And then 2 Beiges because, you don't need them. And then I would side in 3 Thunder Kings. I also probably take out a Brow, just for whatever purposes. And then side in the 2 Cyber Dragons and stuff like that. Just a lot of anti-meta hate. And some interesting choices that I tried before, but I don't think it worked, but you could always try it, was that I sided in a BLS. So sorry if I can't get it right now, but yeah. I sided in a BLS. Because you side in 2 Cyber Dragons and 3 Thunder Kings, that's 5 lights, and Dark Worlds are, well, the dark attribute. I sided in a BLS because, it's too good to not run or use, so, why not use a BLS? You can just sack your opponent more with BLS and Grapha and stuff. So that pretty much does it for my side deck, and wow, my desk is really messy with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. If you do, always thumb up the video, give it a like, or, well, yeah, like the video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, and just, leave me your thoughts on leave me your thoughts on your side deck choices for Dark World if you play that deck. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and this is RegsRock 101 signing out. Peace.